This was a unit, an ecology unit, where we went down to a local creek to test the physical, biological, and chemical properties of the river system.
I went on a field trip to Shingle Creek, which is a few blocks away from our school, and we're running around in the water, collecting macroinvertebrates and doing exercises like with the velocity of the river.
We had collected the macroinvertebrates, and the students bring them back and identify them.
I want to share with you the work that you and your peers have done.
It's very interesting, and it helps you think, and sometimes it's hands-on, and that's how I learn. I like to be hands-on.
It's kind of artsy, and it got you more integrated into actually what you were doing. It's kind of more whimsical, more fun, and a little more entertaining. Got you involved in everything that was going on.
Essential question number 1. How are different aquatic invertebrates connected to other organisms in an ecosystem?
I was trying to get them to look at adaptations by changing perspective, sort of changing the view from the whole down to smaller parts to get them to notice more details and generate some questions about what those structures might be used for.
What you have here are the science standards that I gave you at the beginning of the unit.
That requires
there were 4 of them. These
close observation combined with discussion about it.
So Linda's here to help you change perspective. Thinking by
Just
analogy
the way
is a
a
very
science
higher
person
level
thinks
thinking.
and the way
That's kind of what we tried to
an
get
arts
you to
person thinks. There's also different perspectives that inform the decisions you make on how to deliver content that you wouldn't get to on your own. If you're going to ask students to make high quality observational drawings, you need to give them some basic skills and strategies to be successful at that.
We're really getting that line down. You have a beautiful contour line.
What made it
Your
easier
proportions
was
are
when
very
they
accurate.
threw
Your
the
observation
art part in.
detail.
With the artists coming in, it got us more involved, and it was actually kind of interesting because it gave you more of like a real world sense of like what was going on. You actually get to experience what a scientist or an artist or scientific illustrator does. It kind of makes you feel like you're more connected in that field, and you're doing like mature things that give you experience possibly for college or your future career.
Smoothly runs from dark to light. And
The artist, she basically drew like a quick sketch, told us what different techniques of drawing there is when you're drawing just one thing. It kind of helped me because I can draw my own thing and look at my notes to see what I drew instead of looking at somebody else's.
looked like little teeth almost. They reminded me of teeth. So I would put that down on my list that there was a portion of it that reminded me of teeth. So I start to make some of these analogies, or what do these remind me of, or what am I thinking of, what questions do I have, writing those things down right along with my drawing process. We wanted you to go bigger. So use the larger Petri dishes for your magnification. People like them. They're very short.
Just seemed to connect me to what I was actually learning. With the art, it seemed to have really kind of got me more into the experience of science.
Well, I like the whole science notebook idea because that I get to keep with myself and I get to look back on everything learned in case I forget. It's a good exercise actually because it's good for your memory when you want to actually draw something really difficult. It's good for that. It makes the biology class more interesting. I mean, it's already interesting in itself, but to throw art in there too, it makes people want to learn about science because you're basically learning science and art at the same time.
Look at you go, girl. Wow.
Do you think? Maybe. And it's got little, does it have little kind of
It has like little dots.
it has little dots on it.
The illiterate of the 21st century are not those that can't read and write. It's those who can't adapt and readapt. It is not the answer that enlightens, but the question. And so I've decided that we need a new word, and wonderstanding is that word, because it's really about wondering and understanding and not one or the other.
Okay, now.
Brianna.
Whose favorite thing in the world is drawing. I can't tear him away from drawing.
Scientists have to record the information so they can obviously look back and, be disproved, be proved, learn more angles. But, we were logging it at the end, I guess, to share as a group. I mean, kind of see what we all thought as a whole. I think with, sharing with, your peers and stuff like that, it helps to break away from the mold that teachers give you. They give you, the questions that you have to fill in, but with talking with other students, you can get, questions that sometimes may even be better than the parameters that a teacher has set. The wisdom of the group is often a learning experience that, can heighten your education that you get because you have the, experience to, actually listen to what your peers do.
There isn't, when you ask a student to do this, one way of doing it. That's the beauty of it. It's not what you might think, because it's not like you need to have X number of drawings for an A, an X number for a B or a C. It's really about students generating independent thought.